Tuesday, November 7th, 2017, Monaco 64, home of alternative economics and contrarian views. So it's 7:45 a.m. here in London. I want to look at the markets, early market update, and talk about a few other subjects. First of all, I want to start with the prices where we are right now. Spot gold down $2 at 1278.70. Silver down 10 at 1723. Yeah, we're down this morning, but yesterday gold and silver did very well. Silver rallied to a high of 1725, and gold got up to just around 1282 area, which seems to be a pretty important resistance at the moment, which I've spoken about in the past, a long-term Fibonacci retracement level. Stock markets continue higher. The Dow Jones future is 23,603, up 53, 0.25%. S&P futures up 3 points, up 0.13%. And the NASDAQ future up 10, up 0.16%. In the currencies, we've got cable back down a little bit. Yesterday, cable had a very good day, or sterling. I think it was up almost, 0.8%, something like that. Right now, we're down 26 pips. We're down 0.2%, 131.44. That 130.50 area is still very key support below. Euro, a little weaker, down 24, 115.85, down 0.2% as well. And the dollar is also stronger against the yen, up almost 0.5% at 114.15, up 46 pips. So dollar generally stronger here. That's what's weighing a little bit on gold and silver. Last week we had a really good day for silver. It really outperformed gold, if you remember, to the same kind of areas where we're now, 1725. And then the next day, silver gave it all back, that outperformance. So it looks like right now the same thing could be happening. But I think what's going on in silver is that they're trying to defend the 200-day moving average, which is right around 1725. And looking at the chart here, every time it gets there, silver comes down. So I think if we able to break through 1725, that could give silver a little bit of upside, but we'll have to wait. Gold, same kind of scenario here. I was looking also at the low from, end of last year at around 1122 in gold, and the high this year at 1357. The 38.2 retracement is around 1268. So I know a few weeks ago or a month ago, we got down to 1260, but that seems to be a good support right now, the 1265, 67 area in gold. And above here, 1282. If we able to break above that level and close above that level, that could be positive for gold in the short term. Another interesting market. And a few months ago, I said that looked like, crude oil was going to go higher. There's been a lot of, how can I say, naysayers for crude oil that it would never go back up. And I had a level, a technical level at around 56. And we broke through that. And this is in the West WTI, West Texas Intermediate crude oil, not the Brent. So right now we're above 57. So crude oil doing very well. Probably a little bit to do with what's happening in Saudi Arabia, which is very interesting. The purge going on there. I'm not really going to go into that. There's a lot going on. I think that's just the beginning of something bigger. Who knows? Of course, Saudi Arabia is a big part of the petrodollar system. Back in the mid-70s, it was Henry Kissinger who negotiated with the Arab princes or kings to set up this system of petrodollar, where Saudi Arabia back then, as the biggest oil producer and OPEC member, would only take US dollars, but they would get protected by the US. Is this relationship changing? I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. So yeah, oil looking pretty good, and looking here, next target is around 60. That's where the 200-day moving average is in oil. So I think it's actually around 59. So oil looking pretty good. It might correct a little bit. I guess 55, 56 now will act as support. So what else is going on? Well, yeah, cryptocurrencies. Bitcoin is has had a great run. Of course, it's right now 7,160. Ethereum is lagging, is around 299. But I still think there is a future for cryptocurrencies, that you just have to be careful. I think there's an economy evolving around it. I think the token distributions or donations, token events, or you want to call it ICO, this is just a way of financing ventures through cryptocurrencies and not through the normal venture capital avenue of the fiat dollar. So the other thing I wanted to talk about, I had a problem a few weeks ago with Ether Delta exchange for some tokens, but now I've set up my MetaMask app on my Google Chrome, and it's working really well. I did a sponsored video, I think in September, for Change Bank, and I entered their bounty program. One of the viewers asked me to do that sponsored video, and actually I received yesterday the tokens for that ICO, and it was, I received about 1 Ether, which is quite nice. And I've been able to store it in my, Ether wallet, and I can see it through my MetaMask application, and it's on Ether. I could, transfer it, deposit it into the Ether Delta account, and actually sell it off for Ether. But I'm keeping it for now. Change Bank, I think their website is getchange.com. They're like a crypto bank. They want to be a crypto bank with e-residency in Latvia. So that's interesting. That's about ICOs. Now about taxes. Well, first of all, I'd like to say the problem with taxes is that they're too high, in my opinion. Government is too big everywhere in the West, be it the United States, be it Western Europe, Australia, New Zealand. And yes, Bush is trying to do these tax reforms, but they never, the only tax reform the U.S. should do is twofold. Abolish the Federal Reserve System and abolish the IRS, because those two were created like hand in hand. One is like a glove and one is a hand. Until as long as you have those two, taxes will always be unfair and high. Same thing here in the UK. And now I haven't really read the story deeply, but I've seen the headlines. It's called Paradise Papers, and they're coming out and not exposing, but just telling us about a lot of rich people who have been banking offshore. Even the Queen of England invested £10 million through a Cayman Islands offshore fund. Lewis Hamilton, a Formula One driver from the UK, he's bought a helicopter through an offshore tax haven to avoid paying VAT, which is a value-added tax of 20%. And I don't blame them. Here in the UK, you buy anything new, you've got to slap 20% on it. How fair is that? So what I wanted to say is that the welfare state, the big government, it only hurts the average common people because they can't afford to have the lawyers to do these kind of lawyers and accountants to do these kinds of they're actually legal operations offshore to protect the wealth that they've earned. In some cases, I guess it's not earned, like the Queen, she inherited it, but I guess she wants to maintain it. Lewis Hamilton, why should he pay over £2 million in VAT to buy a helicopter? So the more and more, and the frustrating thing is that a lot of people are going to say, oh, we got to stop these people, they have to pay their taxes, but they will always find a way. The best way to stop that is to have small government and everyone paying very little tax and people looking after their own money. You wouldn't have, excuse me, offshore tax havens if you didn't have big government and a lot of tax. Not only income tax, but all the other taxes. We have VAT, a lot of taxes on alcohol, tobacco. And am I saying that you should drink a lot and smoke a lot? No, but some people do. And I don't think it's fair that they pay a lot of taxes to do those things. And even taxes on gas here in the UK, which they call petrol, the stuff you use to fuel your car. 70% of that, I think, here is taxes. So, as Frederick Bastiat once said, the state is, especially the big government state, is the great fiction where everyone thinks they can live at the expense of everyone else. But the rich always find a way out. And the people who get lumbered with carrying the state a lot of times are, the middle class, even upper middle class, and the common people. They get stuck in the middle, financing everything, and that's why we have huge deficits. So I think the solution is to have very small government, almost no tax, and lean and mean, so to speak. So yeah, I'm not surprised about all these offshore tax havens, and the way to get rid of them, of course, is to cut the taxes, cut the size of government. But I wouldn't hold my breath for that to happen in the West or in the United States at the moment. So if you enjoyed this video, please like, share, subscribe to my channel if you haven't yet, and you can follow me on Twitter and on steemit.com. Talk to you later. Bye.